Eberechi Eze is at Palace, and that's why I've got a massive smile on my face. The first thing I saw this morning was Eze has signed for Crystal Palace, and the rumored fee is due to be around £60 million to £20 million plus add-ons, and it's a 5-year contract, which is a long time. But now let's go in depth and talk about Eze a bit more. The first thing that happened after we signed Eze was, of course, you would expect me to go and calm down and eat something and, then afterwards come back to make this video. But that is not what happened. As soon as Eze signed, I was waiting for his interview. I was waiting for his interview because I wanted to see what he was going to say. We've seen generic comments, let's be honest. We've seen comments suggesting that, players wanted to join Palace because of the fans and Sellers Park is great and the manager saw them the plan. But let's see if Eze was going to say something different. And he did. And this is what he said. The reason why he wanted to join Palace is because they sold him the plan. And I guess that's from Dougie or Steve Parish. I'm not too sure if Hodgson was involved. But he said that the plan is sold for me and that the system they want to play in and the position they want me to play in is a great opportunity, which is quite interesting because now let's talk about Eze's position. Where does Eze fit in this Palace side? Of course, down the left-hand side, that's Wilfried Zaha's position. Unless Wilf moves to the right-hand side, but that's up to him and Roy Hodgson. So left-hand side is Wilf Zaha's position. So that leaves the right-hand side an opportunity for Eze. So I personally think Eze, if he was to play, it will be down the right-hand side. Although it would be interesting to see him play down the middle, but that's not going to happen with Roy Hodgson. Let's be honest. Roy Hodgson is not going to play Eze down the middle because we've seen the same thing with Max Meyer, not physically built enough, so he won't be playing him there. But this is where it gets interesting because if Ryan Fraser signs for Palace, then where does Eze fit? Does he play up front? Because he's not a striker. He's more of an attacking midfielder he's more of that creative player rather than the finisher. So if Ryan Fraser signs, which one of them play? I guess that's a question if and when that happens. But I thought I'd consider it because I'll be honest with you, I don't want to hide it. There is a possibility, and I don't want to be the guy that spoils the party, but there is a possibility that I can see this happening where Ryan Fraser joins the club and Roy Hodgson decides to go with Ryan Fraser rather than Eze. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm completely wrong and we can come back to this video and say that, no, what are you talking about? You were so stupid. But hopefully that is the case. But I do feel like there's a possibility of that happening because, as we know, Roy doesn't like changing it about too much. So if Ryan Fraser does decide to be the player that Roy Hodgson goes with rather than Eze, which I can see because Ryan Fraser's more experienced and he's played in the Premier League, so you can see Roy Hodgson going ahead with him. That brings a massive question where Eze fits. But for me, right-hand side, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Where does Eze fit? And if Ryan Fraser comes into the side, are you worried that Eze might lose his position? And where does he play if Ryan Fraser comes? I know ideally I would want Ryan Fraser maybe off the bench, but is Roy going to do that? I guess we'll see. Another thing that I want to mention is that Eze is from South London. Now, that doesn't mean that Eze is going to be a brilliant footballer because he's from South London and is settled in. It's not like he's coming from QPR, from West London, South London. It's going to be drastic change. No, that's not the point. But my point is that there are massive, massive footballers in South London that Palace could potentially pick up in the next few years. All right, let's go through the list. So, Eberechi Eze, South London player. Emil Smith-Rowe, South London player. Jadon Sancho, South London player. Reece Nelson. All these players are from South London. And now we're building a new academy facility. I thought, you know what? If we get a good scouting network as well, then the future is very bright for Palace because all these footballers are coming from where we are. And in the past, I've personally seen it firsthand where I've seen Southampton scouts in South London. And I haven't seen Palace. Maybe I've just been at the wrong place at the wrong time, but that has happened before. So hopefully in the future, after we build this Category 1 football facility for the academy, maybe we could start growing these South London developments in our own academy system rather than buying them. So that's a massive positive as well. Eberechi Eze from South London, another great talent. And it just shows that there are massive talent in South London. But now let's talk about next signing. Eberechi Eze, overall, you can see I'm happy with him. He's going to provide that creative spark if Roy Hodgson plays him. And hopefully it takes a bit of pressure off Wilfried Zaha. But who's our next signing going to be? Let me know in the comments down below. Ryan Fraser is one of them who they seem like Palace have offered a contract, but not too sure what's going on there. Bella Kotchup, centre-back, in Bundesliga 2 side. He could potentially join Palace. But let me know in the comments down below what you think our next signing is going to be, and also your overall reaction to the Eze signing. I'm happy. I'm pretty sure you guys will be happy with the signing as well, because many of you have left your comments saying, let's just sign him, let's just sign him. It's here. Eze is at Palace, 5-year contract. And until next time, up the Palace.